Ulta.
It's a makeup
Ulta.
store.
Really?
Wait, the
So
fuck?
so the lady who I used to go to Sport Clips, and the lady who cut my hair, this is actually a funny story. She left Sport Clips, but I didn't know. So this was
As one
probably
does.
this was back in the summer, probably around the time that I got back from the lake. So I got my hair cut before we went to the lake, and then I got back, and a couple weeks after I got back, I was like, all right, well, it's probably around the time to get my hair cut again. And in Sport Clips, with the app, you can select the styles that you want. So I always went and saw the same person, and she wasn't coming up in the app. So I waited a couple days. I tried again. She wasn't there. Waited another couple days. She wasn't there. So I was like, man, maybe she left, or maybe she's on vacation or something. But I had to get my hair cut. So I had this other lady cut my hair. She wasn't very great. And then another month later, I'm about to go get my hair cut again at Sport Clips. And
How fast does your hair grow?
I
You
get
don't
my
get-
hair cut once a month.
You don't get your hair.
What about you, Zach?
But hold on. So I get a message on LinkedIn, bro. On LinkedIn from this hairstylist, and she's like, "Hey Cam, I found your LinkedIn profile. I work at Ulta now. Would love to keep your business."
One, that's really creepy.
Very.
I kind of respect it though. You got to
But
make.
she's great. She's great. And you know what? I haven't gotten her number yet. We keep shit on LinkedIn. It's
I
professional.
like it though. She took a job and she brought, her recruit with her.
Heck yeah.
You know?
That's
She's
right.
coaching somewhere else and brought the star quarterback. Good for her. On that note, cue it, Landon.
Are you ready?
I was until that. Do you know the rest of it?
They have those nerd clusters.
We're entering the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, which are good.
They're good.
They're good.
R.I.P. to a legend.
And then what?
Yeah, nobody's gonna listen.
What's the next part?
What are we doing?
Bob Uecker, R.I.P.
What's
Bob,
that?
So good.
I'm glad Cam
I'm
knows
gonna
it.
make
I don't really
I'm making
know
a vow
it.
right now.
Justifiably in a position that I don't want to be in. But the cream rise to the top.
Macho Man Randy Savage at all.
Oh God, we don't even screw the intro, dude. Just let this be our intro.
I work too hard on the intro for it not to be in every episode.
It's
Why all the long faces? We're not dead yet.
Let,
Nobody's listening.
let
anyway.
Cameron close out the episode this week with his version of the intro.
Just do the last bit, Cameron, and that's what we'll put at the very end.
Hey, babe, say hi to YouTube. That's my hot pregnant wife. She's on YouTube.
We can't. I couldn't see her at all because of your overhead
have y'all
light
told the
is
family
just
yet?
blocking all your faces.
She's back there.
You won't say because
Yeah,
she's
bro.
an angel.
Jordan, you have an angel behind you.
An
Yeah, dude.
angel.
I slid over this way, and then it was just more like.
And then
"Oh."
you.
So I gave up.
All right.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, so it'll be the 13th. All right.
Are you ready?
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
You know, they have those nerds clusters, which is new. Yeah, which is good.
10-5! Touchdown!
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream rise to the top, oh yeah.
What are we doing?
Why all the long faces? We're not dead yet.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Welcome to Press Box After Dark. Today is Thursday, February 13th. Not my birthday, if you're wondering. Because Hunter puts an F in birthday.
And makes it 3 syllables.
Do y'all not do that?
Yeah.
Birthday.
Hunter, what are you getting me for my birthday? It's in like
12 days. I know. I did. I said this a couple episodes ago that I put a New Year's resolution out there to remember everybody's birthday. So with an F.
Okay, sorry. When's my birthday?
It's on my desk calendar. It's I think February 25th. Is that right?
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
look at that.
That's
Hang the
right.
freaking banner.
That's right.
I'll give you $1 if you can name everybody's birthday on this thing without looking them up.
Okay, so I just got Zach's.
We need a bit called
give you
"I'll give you
$1
$1" on this podcast.
I mean, we have so many running bits
you
that
almost
one of
had
them
it.
is eventually going to stick. Okay, so Jordan's is April 6th.
Oh, wow, look at him, 2 for 2.
That
Okay,
was
He's gonna forget mine. That's okay.
Yeah, look, Cameron's up on Facebook real fast.
Which profile?
Cameron's is either I want to say it's June or July. I'm leaning July, and I think
hope
I
it's
want to say
January.
July 19th. No, was it June? I don't know.
November.
Oh, was it November?
There goes your $1.
When is it, Cameron?
You were so close. It's June 4th.
Landon, I think Landon's is in May. I think Landon's is like May.
Yep, because remember he's only a month older than me.
So let's go. But I feel like it's
before
not. I
June.
feel like it's not a single digit in May. So let's go like May.
Go with 33,
That's a
dude.
good guess. I like
Can't
that. Let's go May 20th. What was it?
7.
Well, I was close.
Close though.
Close.
I feel like
Landon,
you got
be
the
honest,
months
you're
pretty
looking this
quick.
up.
No, I'm not. I didn't look at. I really.
No,
Oh, I thought
Landon
you-
is. I know Landon is. Landon doesn't know.
I
that
looked
stuff.
up my own birthday.
Landon
thought you-
doesn't know his
that's what I
own
thought.
Cameron's
birthday.
birthday.
Landon, that's what I thought. I was like, are you looking up your own? That's not good.
You ever do that? Like you're at like anywhere, like and you're like they ask you like your birthday or your social, and you're like, what is it? Like your brain just freezes for 2 seconds, and you don't know it.
Yeah, that happens to you much more frequently than it does.
Bro,
to me.
I
don't
didn't
think that
know
happens
my
enough.
social security number until I was like 21 years
Same.
old.
Oh, same.
100%. I had to write that shit
100%.
down.
I think I was probably 18, maybe.
Does
somewhere
anyone
around
know their driver's
No.
license number?
I
No.
do.
Nope.
I
Really?
used to.
I actually know mine.
I know.
I
mine,
used to
yeah.
know my Virginia one. I don't know my North Carolina one.
Jordan,
They
you posted
kept-
mine on the internet.
I did do
Oh,
that once,
good.
yeah. Total
That's
accident, though.
And my birthday.
That's
and
good.
Other
We also
identifying
stole your truck.
information.
That's
Yeah,
actually
they
just
put
going
a
to be our
water bottle in it.
nameplates this week.
Our
Will just be
driver's
our
license
driver's
numbers. That's
license
fine.
numbers. Actually, they kept mine. So when I
didn't
when
know
I moved
this.
when I moved back to Iowa, it was the same.
Yeah, that's how it
driver's
was when I moved back to
Oh,
Texas.
yeah.
So I knew it forever, and then I moved out of state and didn't know it for like 8 or 9 years, and then I moved back and they gave me the
That's
same
wild.
number. So
Yeah, I was like, oh, this feels familiar. Yeah, ours has letters in it though. Texas, they don't do that, right? It's just all numbers.
Yeah.
all
I
numbers.
was,
Ricola, if you're
uh,
listening.
Ricola.
I had to renew my license.
Who is
recently.
Rico?
I had to renew my license, and apparently there's like a 30-digit number on the bottom of the license. It's like
There
an
is. I
audit
learned
number.
this the other day. Yeah.
And I messed up inputting it 4 different times because it's so freaking long.
How's that LASIK working out, buddy?
Yeah,
Great everywhere else.
Can't see the small numbers, huh?
could be a thumb.
Dude,
Could be a thumb
It's
problem.
been like misty and rainy this week, and I
It was
haven't
misty.
I haven't
Misty
had
or
to
missy?
wipe my glasses
Oh
off,
my
and it's been
gosh.
amazing.
Unbelievable.
Oh, tough. We're getting like 10 inches of snow tonight. So
Nifty.
Ew.
It's gonna be like 24
yeah, we're already
hours
shut
tomorrow.
down for. We're
Heck
already
yeah.
shut down
Love that.
for the next day. School's already out. Yeah, snow day.
No day.
Snow day.
Boys, we have a Super Bowl champion. Are we getting into
Yeah,
that,
we're going
Hunter?
to talk about Super Bowl because I guess we just have to. We're not contractually obligated to, but I just feel like we just got to talk about Super Bowl, last football game for a while. So we got to talk. Well, I mean, I guess if the UFL is right around the corner, so Landon just disappeared. But we are Press Box After Dark.
Landon's gone.
You can catch all of our.
Well, most of us are.
Yeah,
Landon's on a break.
Landon
Landon's
has
in the
decided to just dip out of Press Box After Dark for a little bit here, but we are Press Box After Dark. You can catch everything we do on Twitter at PressBoxAD. Give us a follow there. Interact with us on Twitter. In our Twitter bio is PressBoxAfterDark.com. You can catch all of our blogs and all of our podcasts there. 3 Up, 3 Down post yesterday as you're listening. Tomorrow, as we are recording, Jordan's MLB blog. He's doing that every other week in the off season. I am picking up college football with First and 5, our college football blog, every other Wednesday in the off season as well. Our first edition of that comes out next week. I'm going to write an apology letter to Lenore Sellers for my horrible preseason quarterback ranking for him last year. I ranked him 16th in the SEC. God awful read by me there. So check that out next week. You can check out all of our podcasts on Spotify and Apple Music at Pressbox After Dark, and on YouTube at Pressbox After Dark. We've been doing some cool things here in the month of February to celebrate National Women in Sports Day. We've been interviewing people that are friends of the podcast that work in college athletics to empower women in sports and encourage those people maybe to take the leap of faith and work in sports if they're crazy enough, just like the 5 of us were. Go check out those interviews. We interviewed Katie Bernard, Alexis Cable, and then Elisa Blair, and our good friend, our basketball correspondent, Cassie Kelly. Go check all those out. We got a couple more coming, at least one for sure. Hopefully another one towards the end of the month of February. But that is us, and we are going to talk some Super Bowl. And yeah, I mean, I want to kick it back to Zach, because obviously we did a long prop discussion, Super Bowl discussion in our last full episode. And basically this whole entire Super Bowl was just a giant kick in the nuts to Zach, because obviously no one was really a fan of the Chiefs. Zach, being a diehard Cowboys fan, not a fan of the Eagles. Zach, what did you feel like watching the Super Bowl and as it just unfolded as just an absolute belt to ass for the Eagles?
Yeah, it was pretty shocking. More than anything, it wasn't even like, oh, I'm mad Philly's winning or whatever. I just couldn't believe they murdered them. I was so stunned to see that. I mean, you said you were wrong in one of your preseason rankings. I thought the Chiefs were going to win. That's the worst take anybody's had. They were. I couldn't believe that they just got their ass kicked from the start. I mean, from the kick, it was unreal to see. I mean, and if it wasn't for a BS offensive pass interference call against Philly, they might have scored earlier in the game, and it might have been 50-3 or whatever. I don't know. That was terrible. I was but after a while, I was just watching to see all the prop stuff. I kind of stopped caring, and I was watching to see the new graphics, because I'm such a graphics nerd, like with TV stuff, and absolutely hated the scorebook.
Yeah, can we talk about that real quick before we talk about any more like analysis of the game? Because I think the scorebug being so bad took away so much of my focus for like the first quarter and a half. It was awful.
Yeah, very distracting.
So, did y'all see the tweet where it was like, "Hey, look, I made the score bug," and it was just a dude who made it in Excel?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Fox went for the keep it simple approach, which I can appreciate that. But I mean, it just
logos.
it just looked like, there was no effort behind it, though.
It was too minimalist. And I know we're in that with streaming and
it
all
was
that.
It was so large to be that minimal.
The letters were huge.
Yeah.
And I think they were kind of taking a piece of I know the Apple TV did this with their baseball games. They were real simple. They had more text on the screen,
but they were small.
But it was small.
Yeah.
And this was just in the way, and it had these weird boxes, but then the score didn't have a box, but then the time did.
It looked like it was somebody's first time working like Wirecast or whatever.
The score
and then
just
every other graphic they had like New Orleans stuff on it.
Yeah, and I thought they did a great job with that.
It was so cool. And then the one that's on the screen the whole game.
Yeah,
was
not good, man.
So weird.
And Zach, you being a graphics guy, this is like the evolution of just where we've gone from the score bug and like on-screen graphics has been kind of incredible. Because I remember being a kid and watching ESPN Classic, and you watch these classic games, and there was no scoreboard at all. And so the score would just randomly flash up on the screen at random times of the game. So you had to be paying attention. And if you weren't, then you had no idea what was going on. Then it kind of went to that where the score bug was literally almost on the entire screen at the bottom, or a giant thing at the top right or top left corner. And it didn't really get in the way, but it was just massive. And now we've gotten to where I thought we were in a good spot, where it was basically just two logos, and a score, and that's all we need. Because I need the scoreboard on the screen, but this is just it was an awful attempt at, I don't even know what they were trying to do, honestly, because it was that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a little better if it was the logos maybe instead of the name. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't either. That was the very first thing I said when they went live to the game was, oh man, that scoreboard's terrible.
Well, and now the Super Bowl rotation is every 4 years because ABC's back in the mix. ESPN is in the mix now. And so is that going to be their NFL for 4 years? Is this what we're going to see? Because usually, like, you debut it at the Super Bowl and then you have it for the next, until you have the Super Bowl again.
I would think that a new network would have their own bug, especially after people have seen all over social how bad that was.
Yeah. So, like, next year NBC has it, so they'll probably do something new, for Super Bowl 60. But, like, will Fox for the next 4 years for all their regular season stuff use that? Because
I don't know, but it was not good, man.
It's rough. And I could not believe how many people were tweeting about it.
I know. I mean this, like, I'm really not trying to be rude, but, like, the best score bug is the one that you don't notice. Right. So for that to be the very first thing that everybody saw, it was like, ooh, you guys, that one backfired, man.
And
that's why I think the Apple TV one that Zach was mentioning with baseball, I feel like that one's I feel like that's why that one is so good, is because it's not the focus of the game. Like,
yeah, I like it, and they keep it off in the corner, and not that like it covered the whole screen, but the letters were so freaking big.
So big.
It was just so weird. It just none of it
just
made
felt
sense.
out of place.
None of it made sense, and I don't know. So, but yeah, outside of that, it was all about I was helping M with all the prop bet stuff because we were having all kinds of fun. Because honestly, the game stunk. I thought the commercials were kind of average. We'll get into all that, but
going into the game, I didn't have a rooting interest at all. And as the game got going, I realized I did have a rooting interest, and it was all of my picks for the prop discussions.
Yep,
did.
I felt like somebody without a favorite team who just plays fantasy football.
Yeah,
like you,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was fun. Do we want to get into the prop bet stuff? M's right
Let's
here.
do
Do we
it.
want to do this?
I mean, there's not really too much to talk about.
I don't know if a champion's head will be able to fit through the door later, but
well, that head got a fresh cut. So.
Fresh cut.
All right, come on, Emily. Let's welcome back the leader of the prop discussions, levitating up from the bottom of Zach's screen. It is it is the one and only, our resident Baylor fan, Emily. Welcome back, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Missing.
Here's our star tonight.
Missing Jake from State Farm.
I'm the star tonight.
Yeah.
We are missing Jake from State Farm. Our prop bet line for how many Jake from State Farm sightings we would have was 6.5.
Man, I thought that was a great line, by the way.
Thank you. And that man was nowhere to be found this whole stupid game.
He's on vacay.
It's a shame.
So, okay, I actually have like a slightly non-funny take on this, though. So after the California wildfires, which also no disaster relief commercials, they did a whole thing pregame, but not a commercial. So we didn't get any of those either. BS.
But Hunter did shout out the New Orleans thing. They definitely did that.
They definitely did that. But I read a thing that like because of how much they're having to pay out for, like, State Farm is the #1 insurer in California. And so for how much they're having to pay out for the wildfires, they're proposing to like increase like emergency effective immediately a 22% across the board increase for all California customers. And so I saw comments because like this was like posted by NPR or the New York Times or something. And so I was looking at it and I was reading the comments and all of these people were like, oh, sure, but they're going to pay, $40 million in Super Bowl ads, or they're going to rate kite, but they're going to have all these. And people were just complaining like, oh, they're going to have all these Super Bowl ads. And I just thought it was really fascinating that like there was not a single State Farm ad. And so I am very curious if they pulled all their ads because of the fires and they were like, oh no, we can't afford it now.
They've become like a commercial staple So that was very surprising. But I could see them like, not that they can't afford it because they're an insurance company, but the fact that they chose to pull it maybe could be
with their
part of it.
big team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really fascinating. So, okay, do we want to go into who won, or do we want to review prop bets, kind of where they stood?
Let's see who won.
No,
Yeah,
let's
just
do
hear
a
who won.
review and build it up to the suspense. You know, the suspense needs to build here because I do think that it's still a wide open race. We need to double check the spreadsheets. Anybody could have won. Anybody could have won. So let's review your prop bets here. Emily, give us your highlights of your Super Bowl
discussions.
Your Super Bowl prop discussions.
Can't wait to hear Hunter's concession speech in a little bit.
So we had 15 participants. And of the 15, only 5 picked the Eagles to win. That would be Cam and Landon, Jordan, Cass, and the commissioner's wife, Kat. I know. Coin toss is obviously like 50-50, you know. Although most people on the discussions pick tails.
Never fails.
You what?
It never fails.
It never fails. Winner was pretty split on like who wins the coin toss. Only 3 people said that the coin toss winner would start the game instead of
choices were start or defer. So I was very confused. I thought that was just a bit for the pod, and then I went into the spreadsheet and saw it in there too. So I was like, I don't know which one to pick here.
Oh my!
Start or defer.
Could you imagine if they said that at midfield? They win the toss and they're like, "What do you want to do?"
Mahomes is like, "We'll start.
We'll start.
We'll start, please.
We'll start." Holy shit! Oh, that's good.
I still am not sure why that's wrong. No one has explained it to me yet, so I'm just gonna laugh like I'm in on it.
The technical term is receive
or kick,
or you can kick. Yeah.
None of that.
Start is not an option. This is not
that naturally happens. The game just naturally starts.
So our line on total points scored was 52.5.
Hammer the over, Hunter.
And thank God we got the over.
Life is too short to bet the under.
And without Xavier Worthy,
y'all have no idea. So the game was it was a blowout. We've already said that. And we're sitting there on the couch, and obviously it's a foregone conclusion the Eagles are going to win. And I'm sitting here, and there are 2 prop bets that I cared about more than anything. Highest scoring quarter and the over. And when the over hit, I'm pretty sure the highest scoring quarter also hit at the exact same time. I went ape shit on the couch, and my wife had the under, and I think she had the second quarter. So she lost both at the exact same time. All-time bad beat for her. Never take the under. Always take the over, kids.
I'll let you figure out which one of the prop discussions I was waiting for. We'll get to that in a minute.
So
the problem is if you're an Iowa fan like me, you think about the under a lot.
Yeah. They should set the over-under of Iowa games for punts and punts only.
Dude, that would be incredible. If you could bet on how many times Iowa punts in a game, the Sickos committee would lose their mind.
They should make shirts that say punts, not points.
I made Zach a punt sweatshirt like those 2 dudes that went viral.
I remember.
I did wear that the other day. Okay, Kelsey and Barkley. Straight under on all of that.
Non-factors.
That was terrible. I will say I was
on a serious note, if you had told me Saquon's final line, like if you had told me this is what Saquon's going to go for before the game, I would have said there's no chance that the Eagles win that.
Dude didn't do anything.
He did nothing. And they absolutely blew out the Kansas City Chiefs.
To be fair, the Chiefs said we are going to stop Saquon Barkley. They did that.
They did that very well. They just didn't stop anyone else.
Well, so I thought the first score, so the Eagles have it, and I'm like, okay, the first score is going to be the Eagles because they're starting this thing off. And so when the bad call was made and it goes to the Chiefs, I was like, okay, the Chiefs are going to be our first score. And then when the defense actually stopped the Chiefs, I was like, okay, it's interesting now. All right. And I was actually like really pleased that they were able to like have both teams get possession at one point before we actually hit that first score. Because I do feel like that kept it interesting. I think everybody was expecting first score to be the team that started.
That's because both teams elected to start.
I'm so proud of Emily for all of those football.
I love it. I will say this. I think one thing is certain after these prop discussions. Emily is going to become a prop discussions addict after this. Everything now that Emily does in life is going to have prop discussions. Like, y'all just wait. I mean, the Lake House is going to have prop discussions, the World Series, the Daytona 500. It's all going to funnel through Emily's spreadsheet on prop discussions now.
I'm gonna Emily get really into F1 too.
Emily should start one of those Twitter accounts that random girls on Twitter make, where all they do is post random bets, and hopeless dudes across the country just follow them because they're a girl.
They just wait till Emily starts.
And you should do it on things that are not sporting events. You should do it on how many times is my kid gonna cry today? Like just random stuff. It would be
just
great.
Wait till Press Box After Dark makes Emily start doing walking bets. Then we're really going to take off.
Or like, what is it? The puppy bowl?
Oh yeah, we watched the first half of the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, you did.
It was raining cats and dogs out there.
Okay.
Terrible weather.
Stop it.
Yeah, landed the chuckle.
Okay. I'm going to breeze right through who was up at half. Same thing, toss up. Missed extra point. I was really holding out for one.
Yeah, it's because Harrison Butker didn't get to kick anything all night.
Well, and I actually personally put that there wouldn't be one, but I just was like, okay, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. I kept like waiting for one to come about, and no, it did not.
Can I pause right there for one moment? I was going to make this my hang the banner, but I'm just going to throw it out right here. I really, really appreciate Harrison Butker's effort and his contribution to what he believes women should be. I thought that his being a non-factor in the game was tremendous to me. So I'm just throwing that out there. He does have a great Twitter handle though. It's @buttkicker. That's pretty good.
Is that really his Twitter handle? That's all.
Yeah,
I did see that somebody. I think I heard it on a Scott Van Pelt's pod. It was somebody tweeted out a bet. They put down $2,200 to win $100 for Harrison Butker to make an extra point, and he didn't even kick one.
Oh,
first off,
brutal.
What an awful bet. Secondly, what do you gain from that? Like, that was awful. That's awful. Awful.
And well, random white guys on a podcast are talking about him a few days later. So
fair.
Here we are.
He did. He
worked out.
What a waste of $2,200.
You don't have to be smart to be famous.
Back to you, Emily.
Okay, defensive TD. Coming in on the discussions, it was about 50-50 whether people thought there was going to be one. Only 2 people put that there would not be an interception, and it was me and Landon.
Dumbasses.
We were the only 2 that put no, and there was.
Also, the 2 worst fantasy football players this season. I sense a trend here. Well, the worst and Emily, because Landon was the worst by a lot.
True.
Okay, will there be a fumble? Only 3 of us said that there would not be. And that would be Cass, Jordan, and then Jake.
And it looked like that was going to hold for a little while, and then they had the strip sack.
I thought I took yes on that, but I might not have.
Concussion protocol was mixed. Honestly, I'm real bummed that didn't happen. I feel like for as good as Philly's defense was, it should have.
Hey, seriously, there was a dude that came up slow on one of the kickoffs, and I was like, please be his head. Please be his head.
Oh, my God.
We were joking on the last podcast because Jordan was going all in on a defensive touchdown. He was going all in on a concussion protocol. And I was like, man, if someone picks the ball off and then they truck a dude at the goal line, that could happen.
Oh.
And Cooper DeJean hit that dude as soon as he was going in. And I was like, oh, boy, if that
Me too. I was like, yes, that's my new favorite white football player.
Oh.
It was great.
The tweets. How many people tweeted that picture of exciting whites, the wine section, after he had that pick six? There was so many pictures of that. Love it. It was great.
I saw a tweet that said Cooper DeJean played more like DeJean Cooper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you: better exciting whites, the Philadelphia Eagles or the Baltimore Orioles?
Gotta be
the Orioles have so many, dude. It's a carbon copy printer,
though, right?
No way, dude.
The Orioles, though, they have a machine somewhere. They just one after the other.
It's a carbon copy printer, man.
All right, Emily.
All right. I'm done with the rest of the Super Bowl conversation. That was all I was here for.
That was your one shining moment right there.
There it was.
So consistently, nobody thought that this game was going to go into overtime.
No.
Highest scoring quarter, only 3 put forth, and that would be Kamish, Zach, and me.
The 3 smartest people on this podcast.
The total points scored? I don't know.
What was the fourth quarter
17.
point scored?
No, it was 18.
Yeah.
No, second quarter had 17.
Okay.
Third quarter had
Fourth quarter was 22. The third quarter had 16, and I was burned up about it because I picked the third quarter, and I thought they were gonna kick the extra point, and we were gonna get a push. And then they went for 2. They lined up for 2, and I was like, "Oh no!" And they didn't get it. I was so pissed. But then the fourth quarter made it not matter anyways.
I love the fourth quarter that the Eagles were like, "Oh yeah, run the clock." One play bomb.
Dude, that was
and then the Chiefs were like, "Oh yeah, we still have Xavier Worthy, and he's still faster than everyone. The only question is if he's actually going to catch the football."
I'll give Xavier Worthy some credit. He played pretty well. And I saw a funny tweet the next day, and it was like, "This is the biggest FU throw ever," and it was Pat Mahomes just chucking the ball as far as he could to Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy's down there somewhere.
Somebody tweeted that play out, and they were like, "Is this one this would go down as the greatest throw in Super Bowl history if it wasn't in the middle of an absolute blowout with nobody paying attention at all?" That throw was incredible.
I would like to remind everybody that in week 1, we were talking about how just god-awful the Chiefs receiving core was. And in the Super Bowl, they ended up with Travis Kelce. Is Rashee Rice alive?
I think
What's
he's
the deal with him?
stuck in traffic.
Oh, tough.
Didn't he have season-ending injury or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So
because
I thought he had that traffic violation where he was like driving like recklessly or something.
No,
in
he
the street.
played.
Yeah, but he played
definitely
since
played
then.
that opening night game against the Ravens.
But
I thought this happened during the season though.
If only we had a supercomputer.
They went into the Super Bowl with Kelce, with Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, they still had a pretty decent receiving core, all things considered.
Well, that Hopkins drop.
Yeah, I love how DeAndre Hopkins just dropped that football and then retired.
Yeah, DeAndre Dropkins.
Oh yeah, good call.
He had a season-ending knee injury. That's why he was not out there.
Ah.
We were a very prepared podcast. Back to you, Emily.
Lead foot syndrome.
Moving into the entertainment category. In-game Taylor Swift sightings. The line was 6.5, which we thought was a great line.
Also a good line, but Travis Kelce did nothing.
Kelce did nothing. They showed her one time and she got booed.
What are your thoughts on that as a Swiftie?
And that was that.
I think
it's hilarious.
I think I don't know.
I think
she doesn't deserve it, but it's just funny.
Not deserve it at all.
We're on the verge of nickelbacking Taylor Swift. We're like 3 years away from everyone on the planet being like, Taylor Swift sucks.
Well, but they said it was like,
but they were the same people that bought her albums.
They said it was like 75% Eagles fans. Of course,
Yeah,
she
so
got
that's
booed.
why.
Do you think that Kelsey got his money back for the ring?
He probably just kept it.
All I know is that Travis Kelce didn't do near enough to pay for the jet fuel. He's going to have to do better than that.
That was.
I feel like her getting booed is a combo of like the Eagles fan thing and also people being like, we don't need to see her anymore. Like, we've been doing this all season. This is the Super Bowl. Like, show, there's so many other people you could be showing on that screen besides Taylor Swift, who's been in a box all season. Like, I feel like it was a combo of like Eagles fans, but also people being like, no, not this. And that doesn't bother me because I do feel like there were a million other people that were on our stupid prop bets they could have shown.
You know who else doesn't? You know who else doesn't care that Taylor Swift got booed? Taylor Swift, because she's still laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, no, she'll write a song about it, and then be laughing all the way to the bank.
Did Zach show you the video that I sent him on Facebook earlier about Travis and Taylor?
No.
Oh, make sure he shows you that. It's about Taylor Swift's going to dump him because he was so bad, and she's going to call the album Travesty with an I. It's actually really creative.
TikTok today. It was pretty good.
So good. All right, let's get back to this.
So we never saw Kylie Kelsey. There was like the one tweet where she's like down in a bag of Cheetos, but like, and there was no hat in the tweet, but because she was never on the broadcast, we had to push the does Kylie Kelsey wear an Eagles hat, so that was just not even counted. And then they never mentioned her being an Eagles fan at all in the broadcast, so that was a wash too, under on that. The other one was the Abbott Elementary Always Sunny. They tweeted that they were there. So many of them were there, and they never showed them on that broadcast. And that's where I'm like, okay, I did not need to see Taylor and stupid Ice Spice. Show me the people that we discussed, our prop discussions. And so I thought that was fascinating. But we did get the Paul Rudd sighting.
Yeah,
I was very grateful that was included and he was there.
But no Jason Sudeikis.
And the only person who got that right was Kat.
I thought Sudeikis for sure.
There's no way.
Everybody did. Everybody put that he would be there, and Kat was the only person who said no.
There's no way that my wife even knows who Jason Sudeikis is. There's no way. There's not a shot in hell.
Sudeikis is.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
That's an indictment on you. You need to.
She has watched Ted Lasso with me, and she probably still could not tell you who he is.
That name's a nightmare, buddy.
I wonder if he was there and he was like, I don't want to be on TV or whatever.
Show her Horrible Bosses.
Great movie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Call me, huh?
Hey, if that's an indictment on Hunter, I got an indictment on myself. Because my wife asked me if there was more than one Super Bowl per year. And then, like, I don't know, 15 minutes in, like after I had got done staring a hole through her, I go back to focusing on football and she says, they should have a Super Bowl for college. Yeah. Things are going great in our house, guys. She also forgot to hit submit on her prop bet discussion thing, so.
I am just so glad that Katie's here. Just so glad, because honestly, we need more of us.
Pregnancy brain's a thing.
And I'm confident that if she had submitted, she would have picked start.
Possible.
It's possible.
Listen, I would like to throw this out there. When you and Zach were dating and Kate and I were dating at the same time and Zach and I were still living together, Zach would come home and he'd be like, man, this girl's awesome, but she doesn't know anything about sports. And I'm like, yeah, but like that's what I like about mine is my whole life is sports. And I come home and she's like, I don't know what a touchdown is, dude, and I do not care. Like, whatever. So it's very interesting that you guys took the approach like you've like wanted to learn some football stuff, and Kate's like, hey, dude, I'm just here to watch you scream at the TV. Like, very different approaches, but they both seem like they're working. So shout out to Hinge.
Hinge, if you're listening.
Hinge, if you're listening. There it is.
Always. There's one every episode.
Hey, I'll give you guys updates if I find anything out.
Cam, it's the app designed to be deleted, brother.
That would be
problem is
nice,
he's
wouldn't it?
using LinkedIn.
Yeah, Cameron's gonna meet it. Yeah,
True.
I'm not Hey, look,
He's just
I'm
like
using
sending eggplant
LinkedIn for
emojis all over
professional
LinkedIn.
purposes
Yeah, you're
of
using
getting connected
LinkedIn.
to my hairstylist.
You're using your LinkedIn to get your haircut at Ulta from a chick
That's
that used to
right.
cut your hair at Sport Clips. That's not
That is
professional.
That's right.
And then he says, "Why can't I find a date?"
You're real close to like the Hugh Freeze line of inappropriate
no,
professional.
hey, come on. Let's not put Cameron in that low of light, okay?
I didn't. I said he's close to it.
No, Cameron,
That's
not
different.
in
He's
my
not there
Cameron
yet.
is nowhere near Hugh Freeze levels of bad here.
Yeah, well, a few people are.
Number of movie stars in commercials. I messed that up. The line was
like
5.5.
Commercial.
And there were like 92.
Every commercial.
Yeah.
So,
that was the easiest bet of the night.
I will say 3 people got it wrong. Zach bet the under.
You fool! You Super Bowl?
Zach bet the under on movie stars and commercials.
What an idiot!
Come defend yourself.
I don't have any way to defend myself. It was a bad pick.
Who were the other people?
Yeah, let's make fun of them too.
Yeah, my sister-in-law Alexi.
Yeah.
Idiot.
And
Dumbass.
then my best friend's partner, Hannah.
All
That's
Emily's people have never watched the Super Bowl before.
Yep. Cool. All right. Next prop bet.
Okay, Doritos. They only had one.
Doritos, biggest disappointment of the Super Bowl.
That was
Oh.
terrible.
No,
Honestly,
I'm not going to
they've
let
gotten
you guys
downhill.
gaslight like this. I hammered the under there.
They've gone downhill ever since the baby Doritos commercial. That's
Look, as a massive fan of Doritos, as we all know, I was very disappointed, but I will not badmouth Doritos. Maybe it's been a down year for the company. Maybe they just didn't feel like wasting a bunch of money in the Super Bowl. Maybe they're saving up money to sponsor this podcast. We will not badmouth Doritos.
No, here's who you should bow.
Let's blow up a planet? Is that what they did? Like, what the fuck?
It was just really fucking weird. Here's who you should badmouth. The Budweiser Clydesdale commercial kind of sucked this year.
No, I liked it.
It was like 15. It was like 15 seconds long.
It
sucked.
It was fine.
Hunter,
I liked it.
Are we gonna pick our favorite
we're
commercials
definitely
later?
doing that.
We
We're
should.
definitely doing
Yeah.
I was going to say name a good one.
I had a
Because
couple.
I think I know what my what my least favorite one was.
I could
Which
tell you my
one?
favorite
Yeah.
commercial right now.
The Willem Dafoe one was really good.
Yeah, we love
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, that one was hilarious.
My favorite was the very hot Nike women's ad.
Nike did such a good job with that.
Sydney Sweeney was
they
good
always
too.
do.
Jesus. Let's cut the podcast off now. Cameron's talking about Sydney Sweeney.
They put her in a sweater though. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm gonna sit this one out. Other than like, if you're trying to sell product, that does seem like a bad.
I'll give you my favorite, and I'll give you the weirdest one that I thought that was the weirdest one. My favorite was the Tim Robinson Tostitos pizza rolls one. It was basically like a sketch from I Think You Should Leave. My mom has never seen that show, and she was dying laughing watching that commercial. I was like, Mom, you got to watch that on Netflix. You're gonna freaking love it. So I got
It's
my mom.
so good, dude.
My favorite one was the one with Shane Gillis. Anything with Shane Gillis, I'm all in. And the 40-foot long Bud Light cooler, fantastic.
The weirdest one was seal being a literal seal for the that one was weird.
That was the second weird. That was the second weirdest one. The weirdest one was the flesh cowboy hat things. Those were strange. That was strange.
That was
and like
really
the first time I looked at Kate, like, did you see that too? And then they showed it again later on, and I was like, okay, like, it's weirder the more they show it.
Yeah, they came back to it.
Yeah, very strange.
I really liked the Pringles mustache.
Oh, that was a good one.
Commercial. And then there was
the
one
eyebrows. They had an eyebrows commercial.
Oh, it was Little Caesars, I think. It was
Little Caesars did an eyebrows, but they did the same bit.
What was the one that had all the like mascots from different?
That would be the Shabuzi Nerds clusters.
Oh,
damn right it was.
Is that what that one was?
We love Shadazy and we love Nerd Clusters.
think my if we're doing favorite ones,
Like the Instacart one.
the two that I had as my favorites, I really like the Matthew McConaughey one.
Where everything's
I saw that one before the Super Bowl, so I knew that one was coming, but that one was really good. And then got to give a shout out to the Country Roads one.
That one was really good. Really good.
Yeah.
And they were playing Country Roads in the stadium at the same time.
Yeah, they planned that one out really well because they came back to the stadium playing that live, which was really cool.
Yeah, but while the commercial was playing, I was like, what does this have to do with the Super Bowl in New Orleans?
Right, but also it's kind of brilliant because Rocket they just picked the most popular football song right now, played it across some emotional clips, and everyone was talking about it.
Your Mountaineers should host a Super Bowl there. That's what.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I have to throw this one out there
college
too.
The Super Bowl though.
I have to throw this out, and I feel like I do this every time that there's a Super Bowl. But to spend $8 million on the commercial that Jesus loves you, like, go feed the homeless with $8 million, man. Like, there's so many more things that you can do besides a commercial. And I just thought, I don't know. I get the point, but I just kind of feel like it's kind of whack.
So I actually know somebody that works for that company.
Sure do.
No.
And he's a fundraiser for him. Jordan might know who it is.
Well, we just lost a follower on Spotify.
He, I promise, doesn't follow us.
Oh, okay.
Spotify.
Landon, who don't you know?
Landon doesn't know everyone. One more that I'll shout out. I like the Matt Damon David Beckham one, where Matt Damon is David Beckham's estranged brother, other David. That was pretty funny. That was pretty good.
You just totally cut Landon off.
I'm sorry. I thought his fault was done. I'm sorry, Landon.
What I was going to say is that their like whole premise, because I actually agree, Jordan, like it is a waste.
Like I get the point, but man, there's better things to spend money on.
There is. What they do is they're trying to it's not necessarily missionary like how you would go out and feed people.
Sure.
It's bringing people to God. And
I understand
it's sparking interest of getting them to go to the website, and then they connect people with.
I would be very curious if you can talk to your source. I'd be very curious to know what the ROI was on an $8 million Super Bowl commercial and how many people went to that website.
I'll ask him because whenever the last time I asked him about stuff like that, because they do the Cowboys, they do it there. It was actually surprisingly high.
Because if they didn't make at least $8,001,000 off of that, then it's a failed experiment.
Well, they're not making money off of it. It's the amount of people that go to the website.
Yeah, okay.
But that's your ROI.
And how many? I understand that. I'm saying how many people that were hammered drunk waiting on Kendrick Lamar to destroy Drake?
How many people
went to that website? You know what I'm saying? Like it. I understand the point. I wouldn't spend $8 million on it.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, I'd like to know that next time we pod.
Emily, do you have any more commercials you want to shout out before we move on?
I'm curious your thoughts on the legitimacy of the Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg feud that they made us view more than once, where they're like, I hate you for this, and I hate you for this, and I hate that we even have to do this.
It's because they took the end racism out of the end zones.
I actually really liked the commercial. I wish they would have done it with somebody besides Tom Brady. Like, stop shoving Tom Brady down our throats, man.
Can we talk about how many commercials Tom Brady himself was in? He was in like 4 different companies' commercials.
He was all over the Super Bowl because I mean he called the game.
And
he's in almost every other commercial.
I don't think he's that great of a broadcaster myself. I know I'm probably in the minority on that, but like
I know someone if they're looking to change things up.
Greg Olson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Olson is who
absolutely.
Emily knows Greg Olson?
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be cool. No, he
stop forcing Tom Brady at people, man.
You can't put the announcer for the game in that many commercials. Like if this was a game on CBS and it was Romo, fine, Brady can be in whatever. But like
also for like a decade,
hearing him the whole game.
for like a decade, people wanted to watch Super Bowls that didn't have Tom Brady in them. We finally got to that point in life, and now you're just cramming Tom Brady down our throats again. Like, stop it, man.
And like every other social media post from Fox leading up to the game was like, Tom Brady did this in Super Bowls. And it's like,
I will shout out my man Nick Foles, though. Did you see his tweet after the Super Bowl? It said that Tom Brady's gotten to be in person for both of the Eagles' Super Bowl victories. And I thought that was a good, subtle, but friendly dig there
from
by
the top
Nick Foles.
rope.
Texas high school guy, by the way.
Arizona, bear down guy.
Arizona legend.
Bear down.
Bear down. All right.
Okay. Moving on to the national anthem. Was it 120 seconds or more?
Yo, that national anthem was crazy.
So I missed the national anthem, and then I saw Cameron's text in our group chat, and I was like,
dude,
because I read it, and you were like, because I don't remember what it said fully, but it was like you said he had like one line left, and he just milked it. And so in my head, it was like he just held the note. But when I went back and watched it, he repeated the line like 15 times.
He had the land of the free.
Who was it?
I looked down.
The
It
land
was
of
John
the
Batiste.
Oh yeah, John the Baptist.
I looked
the
down.
land of the free.
That's the clip for you too.
And that didn't hit the over?
Bro, no, it did. I looked down at my phone, and because as soon as he started, I hit the stopwatch on my phone because I wanted to know how I was doing. And
of course you did.
Dude was almost done, and I looked down at my phone, and I'm like, shit, 1 minute 20 seconds, like 40 seconds left. Like this is gonna hit the under big time, and he milked that last line of the national anthem for 40 seconds, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I missed it too, and it doesn't sound like I am sad about that.
That's pretty good.
Loved it.
So what was the official time, Cam?
I want to say it was like 2 minutes, like 2 seconds. Like he barely hit the over.
Zach got 2:10 on it.
Well, okay, so I guess it depends, like if you started it when he started playing piano, but I started from the first note, like him singing.
Maybe John the Baptist himself bet the over on the anthem and then controlled the outcome. Just throwing that out there.
We also only got one crier during the anthem.
Yeah, that's kind of a weak.
Yeah, fucking Chris Jones.
Yeah. Sirianni, the world's counting on you.
Hey, we're not going to badmouth Chris Jones on this podcast. Chris Jones, if you're listening, I love you.
Dude, it was like 15 seconds into the national anthem, too. I'm like, oh my God. Like
it's like when we're watching Survivor and your player that you draft in Fantasy Survivor cries because they didn't open a coconut that day, and you're like, God dang it.
Like you mean Marianne and Bonnie.
No,
what?
That
was Marianne.
We stop saying Banu's name on this podcast. Can't stand the guy.
Banu Matata.
Oh, Emily, go ahead.
The Banu's Bomb Squad.
This next
first commercial after kickoff was food and beverage. It was a Dunkin' commercial.
Of course it was.
My favorite submission was that the commissioner bet that that my OnlyFans commercial would be the first one after kickoff. And to that, I would like to respond that we only advertise on online media.
I did not know, so I just thought the company was going to take a leap of faith and just put your OnlyFans out there.
No. We're looking to maybe move into television around the world.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I want to pause. Hunter, you lost this thing by 1 point?
Yeah, really? If I did and I lost it because of a joke,
I lost by 1 point.
Oh, Landon lost by 1 point.
I lost.
I was about to say, if Hunter lost by 1 point and did that, he's not
I saw the other category for the commercials. I was like, oh, this is an opportunity. I was like, this is an opportunity to make Emily see this and laugh. So.
Okay, halftime. So we put the line of like number of guests, and I am not the most familiar with Kendrick's music. Like I listened to the album that had like Humble and DNA on it, but
damn.
Thank you. Yep. And obviously I've listened to like Not Like Us, but other than that, I don't really keep up. So I was thinking like this is going to be similar to the Dre Snoop Dogg, where they're going to just keep bringing people out. Like this is just going to have, because Kendrick has been like featured and featured.
You tell me all them people he had laid down as human swastikas didn't count.
No, they were part of the show. They weren't special guests. But so I really thought, I put the line at 3.5. I really thought like, oh, it's gonna definitely be over.
So
and only 2 people bet the under on that. And I mean, we barely, they had 4 special guests. We barely hit the over on that.
I thought there was, so it was Samuel L. Jackson, it was SZA, Serena Williams, and DJ Mustard.
Oh yeah, DJ Condiment.
I'll take Condiments for 400.
And I thought we weren't going to get anywhere near it, because I was like, okay, we started off pretty good, and I was like, okay, Samuel L. Jackson right out of the gate, that's good, because I know we're getting SZA, so all we need is 2 more. And then after Samuel L. Jackson, like I knew SZA was coming, but then I was like, oh no, we're not getting anything.
Coming.
And then all of a sudden Serena Williams starts crip walking, and I'm like, all right, we're back in this thing. And then the last song we got DJ Mustard, which I completely forgot that I should have seen that coming, because it's the whole bit where he's like, Mustard. Like I should have seen that coming.
My brain was off, and I totally forgot that Serena Williams dated Drake for any amount of time. So I saw like this 2.5 second clip of Serena Williams crip walking. Kate was on her computer, and I said, was that? Nah. Like my thought was like, it wouldn't make sense for Serena Williams to be crip walking for 2 seconds at the Super Bowl. And then I was like, it kind of does actually.
So good.
But like I legit wasn't sure if it was her at first.
So it was pretty cool, because like she was dissing Drake, but she also did that at the Wimbledon a few years ago and got like crucified, huge fine for it, and did it again. I thought that was awesome.
Nice. Big Serena Williams fan.
But there were a bunch of people on Twitter like also hating on her. They're like, "Yo, Serena's dating. She's married to a white dude. Like, why is she crip walking?" And it's like,
"Oh, do you mean Stephen A. Smith?"
The Stephen A. Smith thing.
Yeah.
Listen, you know whose opinion I don't need any more of ever is Stephen A. The bit's outplayed, dude. Like, you know everybody in the NBA personally, and you scream at people on television. I get it.
I'm just honestly like, I was very impressed that Kendrick came out and just like held his own and didn't like, it was very symbolic. Like there's a lot of think pieces and stuff out there that's like been written about all the symbolism and stuff about the halftime show, but like the pyrotechnics, only 4 people bet the under on pyrotechnics. We were like, oh, there's gonna be fireworks, there's gonna be like fire, there's gonna be there was 1 pyrotechnic throughout that whole thing. We put the line at 5.5, and there was 1. Like he did not bring out a ton of people, didn't make it extra flashy. Like he just like did his thing and held his own. And I
went all the way in on murdering Drake on national television.
Yeah, genuinely very impressive.
Like had the whole stadium chanting A minor, and oof.
I also didn't know this, but did you know that Drake sued, because Kendrick and Drake are on the same label? Drake sued the label because the label put out that song.
That sounds
and he was like, you're promoting this song. Drake is their best performing artist, like the label, he's like their most successful artist in terms of like sales and streams and all of that stuff. And so with the label like promoting Not Like Us, he was like, you're basically like allowing people to believe that I'm a pedophile. Like you're substantiating this by supporting this diss track. And so he started this massive lawsuit. So it's not just that they're like, you know, having beef or whatever and going back and forth, but Drake actually sued the label over.
Yeah, the rumor is that he's going to sue the network too for letting it air.
Yeah. So
I love the pettiness. I love the juiciness of the whole thing. Kendrick Lamar, not my type of music, but everybody that's like, oh, it was the worst halftime show ever. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't. Yeah. I think we're way past the days where people are tuning in for the halftime show anyway.
No, and And here's the thing, I saw a lot of people saying it was like the worst halftime show they've ever seen, which is
I
just
didn't think it was bad.
not fair at all. But the only gripe that I had, like from a music standpoint, is like I just wish. Now look, he's on the global stage, so of course he's gonna put a bunch of the diss track stuff in there. But like from a music standpoint, I wish he just would have included like some of his like really good music that he has. Like
He skipped a lot of stuff.
he had nothing from Mad City, which is like just some of the best music ever made, and he played 0 songs from that album, and I was really disappointed in that.
I do have to throw this out there. The people that are saying this is the worst halftime show ever want us to go back to the Who with their bellies hanging out. Like, nobody wants that, man.
Bring back Left Shirt.
As a non-Kendrick Lamar fan, I thought the show was fine.
Right.
I also
like
think
they're never gonna have like a country artist or
No,
like
and
it's always gonna be it should be something fun and upbeat. Like it should always be something pop or hip hop or something like that.
It should be something with a large audience. Like
right.
You can stick George Strait and his guitar up there and nobody's gonna care.
Exactly.
But we're a few days later, and everyone's still talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. That's what you want, man.
Landon, who did you say? You said bring back somebody.
Left Shark.
Oh, Left Shark.
But yeah,
Katy Perry.
Press Box After Dark. Come
But
for
like,
the football, stay for the discussion of Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
But if you know anything about the like Super Bowl halftimes, like you have to pay for that as the artist. You fund your whole show. And so it's not even like, oh, who's the NFL gonna pick? And because I feel like finding somebody that has like a broad universal appeal that then is willing to like front that and put on a whole show that requires a lot of their money, a lot of their time, and it's potentially competing with other projects and things that they have going on. Like,
of course,
that's just so challenging. And so it's hard to get somebody who has like mass appeal to be able to come out and do that. That like genuinely, I think about somebody like Taylor Swift, where like she could get up there and almost everybody in America would know her songs.
Correct.
But she's too busy. She's not going to go do that. She got other stuff going on. And so I feel like it's really hard to like find somebody with the broad appeal of a Taylor Swift that also isn't booked and busy.
I was just looking at previous Super Bowl halftime shows that all the white people want to go back to here. I straight up forgot Coldplay did a Super Bowl halftime show.
And that was the worst one.
That's how bad.
Sky full of stars.
I love how Cameron just starts singing randomly.
We got to make enough money. We got to make enough money on this pod for Cameron to get singing lessons.
Can fix you.
Yeah, the Who did one. That one was terrible.
I saw a clip from Paul
McCartney.
Is it Phil Collins that sang Tarzan? He sang Tarzan at one Super Bowl. Like he sang the soundtrack to Tarzan.
Okay, Tarzan.
No, I know it slaps, but it was like that was a Super Bowl halftime show at one point. They were singing the soundtrack to Tarzan out there.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Again, not my type of music. I thought Kendrick Lamar was infinitely better than Usher was a year ago.
I appreciated that performance more than, was it The Weeknd where it was the camera angle was going everywhere? It was so disorienting. I didn't like that one.
All right, what other prop bets discussions we got here? Is that all?
Yeah, who won this thing?
Only one person got SZA's nail color right, which was like white. Tom Brady referencing it was my brother-in-law, Justin.
Oh, smart guy. I know Justin.
Genius.
Shout out Justin.
Yeah.
Tom Brady referenced his own Super Bowl. I didn't think we were going to get there, fam. The line was at 4.5. I did not know that we were going to get there, but we did. We actually made it.
He had like 3 in like 2 minutes late in the game.
He finally, late in the game, just started talking about himself. Good job. Thank you for that. I bet the over, so I'm really happy he did that. We got to push the who does Kelsey hug first in a Chiefs win because they didn't win. And then we put in the event of an Eagles win, who wins Super Bowl MVP? Only 2 people picked Jalen Hurts. Only 2. Katie Bernard and Alexis Cable.
Wow.
That's it.
Podcast board. Get on the board. Nicely done.
Hold on. Is Zach still in the room?
He is.
Zach has been dogging Jalen Hurts for not being a good quarterback, and he put his nuts on the table in that Super Bowl, man.
Cameron's got receipts, Zach.
No, I mean, the Super Bowl against the Chiefs the first time, the NFC Championship game this year, the Super Bowl this year, those are his 3 best games of his career. Like, dude, you're a top 5 quarterback in the league.
No question.
That's just what it is.
That throw he made to Devontae Smith late.
Oh, sick.
Unbelievable. I've never seen him make a throw like that.
The throw to Saquon on the sideline. The very first dime down to Dotson.
The 1 yard run for the first touchdown of the game.
Well, it turned into like a 6-yard run. He was halfway in the freaking end zone when that play was over. After that tush push, I was like, "Oh, Philly's here to play." That was like a 6-yard run. He was
Jalen Hurts played the game of his life, and Patrick Mahomes might have played the worst game since he was wearing Texas Tech colors.
Dude,
and it goes back to if Saquon finished with 25 rushes for like 80 yards. No way do I think Philly's winning if that's the line.
And dude, 80 feels like a stretch, dude, because it didn't seem like he got to 80.
I'm guessing. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
dude,
even sure that's right.
I just had a thought. Like, if injuries weren't a thing, imagine if they just like tush pushed every single play of the game.
Oh, do you mean like football like 100 years ago?
Yeah, like Rutgers versus Yale or something like that.
But face mask.
I
think Cass was at one of those games.
No.
It's like
she probably was
play in the NFL is that tush push. No one stops it. No one.
No. And they were struggling with it earlier in the year because they lost Kelsey at center, and it wasn't as effective earlier in the year. But I mean, they got it back. It's still unstoppable.
Their O-line's been very beat up. They've had dudes change positions and all kinds of stuff.
Another quick side note: like Nick Sirianni deserves a ton of credit. I think he's a dick. But you know what? He is a winner, and he has been to 2 Super Bowls and won one with 3 different sets of coordinators in 4 years. That's you. That's why you're good, because you're good. Like,
this
I don't
might
like
be
Philadelphia, but Dallas, maybe look to what they're doing up there in South Philly. Like,
this might be a different topic for a different podcast. But does Nick Sirianni have the most punchable face of any NFL head coach?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Liam Cohen already for Jacksonville is just up there.
Fair. Very fair.
He also has the darkest circles under his eyes where I'm like, that man has been up late drinking himself to death every night this whole season. Based on the way his freaking face looks, he's unwell.
That was the first thing Kate said, too. She was like, what's wrong with that guy's face? He looks like he hasn't slept in a year. Also, Hunter, I want to go back to this for 1 second. If there was one NFL coach that you wouldn't fight, who would that be?
Well, before he got fired, Robert Saleh for the Jets. That dude.
Nah, dude, it's Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm not
Mike Tomlin. No, that dude. No way.
No.
Oh, Dan Campbell. Holy.
Who? Oh, Dan Campbell.
Mike Vrabel, too, now in New England. Shit. I tell you, I bet who throws a mean punch? Pete Carroll. I bet Pete Carroll's got some bony knuckles. I bet that dude can throw a punch.
And then he'll
while chewing his gum. He'll spit the gum at you, knock you out, and then just laugh. I like that.
I love our sidebars.
Okay, my most controversial call that I made in this prop discussion is our last one, which is, who does the MVP think first? Or I guess second to last.
He said God first.
Okay. The problem is,
he watched the commercial at halftime.
The problem is the interviewer didn't ask him a real question. The interviewer was like, oh, you had all this criticism and you lost before, and, what are you going to do when people are saying the Chiefs are going to three-peat, and so, what are you going to say to your critics? And, the first thing out of his mouth was...
Actually, pretty good.
Thank you. The first thing out of his mouth was, God is good. I wouldn't be here without my teammates. So he never was like, given a how does it feel to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
or
it was
like,
a very Optimus level question, if we're being
it was
honest.
like it was a really, really poor intro into a question. So Zach's take was he didn't thank anybody because he never said, I'd like to thank God, my mom, the teammates. Like, he never explicitly thanked anybody. And honestly, that was kind of my default thought. But in rewatching it, I was like, okay, it's not his fault the interviewer set him up badly. First thing out of his mouth was God, so he's getting God. So I ruled in favor. Anybody who put God got credit. But I do feel like technically he didn't thank anybody.
If ESPN has to get rid of Lee Corso, Fox needs to get rid of Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
1,000%.
He's
My name's
bad.
Terry Bradshaw, and I have shingles.
Also, wow.
I played 57 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, get the
I was there when they invented the face mask. Also, they can't call him TB when Tom Brady's the main guy on the screen.
TB12.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Zach,
no.
I got a question.
He was so bad on that podium. So bad.
I got a question, Zach, because I think you're the only one that's going to know it off the top of your head. What year was Jalen Hurts drafted?
2020.
Yeah. COVID draft.
2020. Okay, so he's been to 2 Super Bowls since then. How many times are we going to hear about how unfair life has been and how he got benched in college and all that? Like, the dude is writing his own narrative in the NFL, and it's very different from a guy that got benched in college 5 years ago.
I don't think we're ever going to hear the end of it here, because I think that's what makes it so compelling in my eyes. It's like you have this guy. Yeah.
It is compelling, but like, damn, I'm
just
over it, man. The dude's he's a top 5 Super Bowl quarterback. Like, he's a good player.
Yeah, but I think
that.
it's just the narrative that people are always going to push, because it's like a movie almost. It's like the number one kid out of high school or whatever. I don't think he was the number one kid, but highly rated recruit, plays for Nick Saban, gets benched. Then they win the national championship, and he sits behind the backup as a backup all year, comes off the bench to help win the SEC championship, then goes to Oklahoma.
I get that it's the stuff that movies are.
It's a whole journey, and I think that's why you're never going to hear the end of it, because it is a roller coaster of a ride that he's been on, and he made it to the top.
But he hasn't been on a roller coaster since he got to the league. He's been a damn good player since he got to the league.
So I think maybe their downfall last year and how they just fell off a cliff didn't really help, because, I mean, the number one person that gets the blame is always going to be the quarterback, no matter what's going on in the locker room. So I think he got a lot of the blame for what was going on.
Last year, the number one problem was their dumbass coach. Sirianni was the problem last year. 2, Hurts was bad last year. Like, he was bad.
And that's fair.
And so I think the criticism and I was one of them, was fair. Like, the only reason you were good this year is because you brought in an all-pro running back. That was kind of the narrative. He threw that out the window during the postseason.
Yeah.
Because not only was Saquon good, he was great as well. But, like, yeah, you had a dude who broke a record, and that's why your offense was good. It's not because you're good. It's because
nobody ever talks about how Tua was the guy that came in and took his job, because Tua's so bad in the NFL, or he's not healthy. Like, or he's not playing in big games.
Yeah, I think this will calm down a little bit now. But anytime you do a Super Bowl, there'll be the big storyline.
I just feel like he's a super likable player. He's been very good when it matters the most. Let that be his story.
I liken it to Tom Brady. Even in his 17th year, they were like, "Yeah, this guy was pick 199." You know, it's like, okay,
yeah 30 years ago, dude. Like, let it go.
Yeah, so I think that it might just always kind of stick with him a little bit.
All right, Em, who won this thing?
Last thing, Gatorade shower was green, yellow, Eagles. And only one person, my sister-in-law Alexi, guessed the green, yellow Gatorade color.
I know Alexi.
It was green/yellow. That was one option. So
I only went with purple because Cass said it was purple the last 2 years, and she seemed much more informed than I was on that.
Yeah. Well, so our winner is the Cameron Gross. I do have your prize. I do have your prize. I will be mailing you this championship medal.
I thought that was a thong.
It has this picture.
Straight from her OnlyFans.
There's a dog on it?
Is that Posey?
That's what I said. Is that my dog?
Is that?
Flip it over.
It is from the Rescue the Animals 5K
That's
fun
posted
run
in 2016.
Oh,
that might not be my
yeah.
dog, but that's my dog's relative for sure. That's my dog right there, dude. I can smell the breath from here.
So you have this beauty coming in the mail to you.
Let's go.
Wait, what happened to the Super Bowl winning shirt thing?
He might get one of those too, but I'm mailing this. You get to have this weird dog medal.
That's gonna get passed around for generations now.
Why did that make it on our move to Iowa?
Very good question.
This is a prized possession.
All the things you guys got rid of.
Look, I ran this 5K. I got first place for my age group.
Where'd you steal that from?
First place. I was also the only one in my age group.
There it is. I knew there was a caveat.
And this is actually rude because when I was running 5Ks on the regular, thank you, I have actually run a marathon, jerks. I did actually get a lot of third place for my age group when there was a wide category.
Are we saying that a 5K and a marathon is the same thing?
No, I have done a bajillion 5Ks. I have done 10 half marathons, and I've done a full marathon.
Okay.
I've also
I'm
done
just making sure. I was just clarifying for the
triathlons.
audience. All 12.
Yeah, no,
Hey, our numbers are going up on Spotify, Dick.
Sorry, 16.
Thank you.
I love that you have trouble keeping count of that because that's an issue I do not have.
Also,
I have never done a marathon for the way.
Yeah,
I do feel like we give Landon a lot of crap in our group for not being our top performing competitive guy when it comes to our bowl pick'ems and our fantasy football leagues. But Landon was second place on our prop discussions, and I feel like
hell yeah.
And trivia and
hey.
Landon doesn't win very many things.
I won fantasy.
Yeah, Landon is a fantasy football champion, and he won Fantasy Survivor.
Close the yearbook, guys.
But I appreciate it, Emily. I appreciate it.
I am not part of Fantasy Survivor. I was also strategically left out of that, the same way I was strategically left out of this podcast.
You've been in the last 2 episodes. What are you talking about strategically left out?
Not that she's salty.
Yeah, because I had to force myself in by creating activities. Anyway, third place goes to the commissioner.
I came in third?
I would just like to say... Yeah, I would like to say there was only one female. So, like, literally, our bracket sheet, bottom half of this whole situation is all females. Top half is all males. Like,
who we got?
Straight gender divide, with the exception of my sister-in-law Alexi. She is the only girl in the top half. So top was Cam, then Landon, then Kamish, then Zach. Followed by my sister-in-law Alexi. And then my brother-in-law Justin, then Jordan, then Jake.
Oh, man.
Other than Alexi, I was the top performing female. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then we had Katie Bernard, my friend Jenna, Cass, Cable, Kat, and
Kat
then
didn't
Hannah.
come in last. Look at her go.
Who is Hannah?
No. She is
athletic trainer in North Texas.
Okay.
Friend of the pod.
So no wonder she finished last.
Well, Emily, well done. A brilliant prop discussions. We will have you back for March Madness prop discussion. So start doing your research on basketball.
I also will have y'all submit your brackets in the form, like on a Google form.
That's
that
absurd.
We will have a bracket we can track.
That's going to be absurd.
You know, ESPN will
there's
do
an
that
app
for
that
you.
does it for you that I already do for all of us.
You know what, Emily? If you would like to create a spreadsheet,
Google form bracket.
I will fill it out, Emily.
The bowl pickups was bad, and I'm trying to prevent that from happening.
You realize how many games that is,
bowl
right?
Pick'em was bad.
Yes,
I had one bad season of the bowl pick'em. 5 seasons in, I forgot to do the spreadsheet. God forbid the commissioner falls behind on one league.
Emily, I don't think you
Yes,
realize.
God forbid it.
I don't think you realize how difficult it would be to do a Google form for March Madness.
Now, a Google form for the
I don't think
I
it's
was gonna say,
possible.
a
don't
Google
trust
form
me.
for the bowl
Get out
pick'em
of
would
here.
actually be really, really efficient.
I don't think it's possible.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, let me do this in the future, and then I will get the spreadsheet, and I can make sure to like keep up with it.
Hunter,
You can still be the commissioner. I'll just do the data
Hunter,
analysis.
I
It's
told
probably
you,
better
probably
for
better.
everyone,
Hunter,
if we're being honest.
I told your ass to do the bowl pick'em in a spreadsheet like 3 years ago, and you told me to fuck
No, I
off.
did. No, okay. So
That's
when
a
I
good
did it
point.
the first 2 years, I just did it on pen and paper because I just handed everybody the piece of paper and I was like, "Here, circle it, and I'll just highlight as the games go." And then Landon was like, "Do it in a spreadsheet, you moron." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And
I
he did.
am in
Then-
favor of Emily running the lead on the
I like
spreadsheet
it.
because I once watched Hunter put together a March Madness bracket out of painter's tape on his office wall, and he used the Colgate toothpaste logo instead of the Colgate
no,
basketball
F
team
you.
logo.
That was hilarious.
So for that reason,
And that was both of
I'm in
us. So
favor of Emily.
that wasn't just Hunter's dumb idea. That was me too. And that was a badass
Yeah,
bracket
no,
on our wall too. We did a
It
good
was until
job.
you guys needed some more
don't
painter's
don't you
tape.
come at us and say that our bracket was stupid. It was amazing. Don't you come at us and say that, sir. No. All right, well,
You come at us
Emily,
with
I think
words
you've
and
done a great
syllables.
job
I would
being the
just quickly
commissioner
like
for
to
this, so I
say-
think you may have taken my commissioner duties, which is great. It'll free me up to actually learn English.
Don't you come at us.
All right. Peace out, P-Bad.
Thanks for joining us, Emily.
All right.
I'd just like to say to all the listeners, if they're still listening, thank you.
They're all look.
Yeah,
They're
also,
all
why?
here. They're all 7 of them. They're all here.
Exactly, Jordan.
Hunter, what
Why?
else is on your agenda
That's
that none of
it.
us read?
That was our agenda. We're gonna
Yeah,
hang a
we're an
banner
hour
and we are
20
gonna
into
get
this.
out
I
of
hope
here.
that's it.
Oh,
We gotta hang a banner. I will go
Banner.
first
I
if
gotta hang a
everybody wants to
banner.
look theirs up.
Damn, I
'cause
forgot
got
again,
mine.
boys.
I
Go
have
ahead,
two
Hunter.
tonight, but I have a feeling one of them might get taken by you guys, so I'll
Okay.
go last. That way I don't
have
steal
2.
one.
I don't think I can steal it. I got to come up
Okay.
with one right now.
I'll
Yeah, me
start it
too.
to give us some time here. I'll go first. I have 2, but I'm only going to do one because it's kind of relevant to what we've been talking about. So I'm going to hang a banner. So I don't know the actual
boy.
guy's name, so I do apologize here. But College Football
Oh, man,
Reddit
good.
posted this. Hang a banner to the guy that
Yep.
posted the video of him pinning Saquon Barkley in 2007 6th grade wrestling in Pennsylvania right after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Somebody on Reddit was like, you know what? I'm going to show the greatest athletic accomplishment of my life. I pinned Saquon Barkley in a wrestling match. He can take that to his grave. Absolutely hang a banner for that. Love that. It's hilarious. I thought it was fantastic. So hang a banner to the guy that pinned Saquon Barkley in wrestling. And also Saquon Barkley in 6th grade, just an average looking kid. So maybe there's still hope for us guys. Maybe we just turn into this genetic freak. Maybe.
I want to pause.
Yes.
For 1 minute. My wife, we're watching the game the other day, and they hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley, and my wife says, "He looks kind of small."
What?
Said, "Well, that's because the people standing in front of him are 6'8" and 360 pounds." And so then I showed her pictures of Saquon, and she was like, "Oh, he is not a small human at all."
Yeah. His legs are
Absolutely.
tree trunks.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Dude pinned him though. Some random dude on Reddit posted a video, pinned him when he was in 6th grade. Hang a banner to that guy. Have you guys ever? Do you have like a claim to fame thing, like when you were just in high school sports or elementary sports against somebody that was famous? I have one. Go ahead, Cameron.
I do. Center fielder for the Rockies, Britton Doyle. I played against him a bunch, and got him out a few times in baseball as a pitcher. He is more known for his defense now in the MLB. Dude's unreal as a center fielder. I want to say he won another Gold Glove this year.
Shame
If
he
not,
plays for the Rockies.
I know, because last year he won a Gold Glove as a rookie, and I don't know 100% sure if he won one this year, but he hit a lot better this year, so he's a really good player. And
That was Landon's 2024 NL
Right.
West champion pick, the
God,
Colorado Rockies.
right,
Hey, they did great. I'm very proud of them.
Hunter, I have a claim to fame. I played college baseball against Andrelton Simmons, and he played short against us, and I would like to say that I contributed to him getting drafted because I hit him a lot of ground balls.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, hey, you got another one, Jordan. Who was your high school quarterback?
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, big time. He broke my finger once. That's my claim. There you go.
I got.
Hey, seriously, do you remember the guy that cheated? Yes, throwing a football. Do you remember the guy that cheated in the Little League World Series about his age, lied about his age? Danny
Almani. Movie
Almani.
about that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I am 12.
He was on the same JUCO team as Andrelton Simmons was. He was like 26, but he was on the team.
Hey, if it was JUCO, he might still have some eligibility left.
They beat the pants off us, dude. They were really, really good.
I have two. I hit a double off of Jake Mangum when I was a senior in high school, and he was a sophomore, so it doesn't really count. And then I beat Roy Oswald in a slow pitch softball game when I was in college. So,
wow.
Yeah, Roy Oswald. He lived.
Or as Roy Oswald calls it, pitching.
Roy Oswald lives in Starkville. He plays summer league softball, travel softball. We played against him, and we beat him.
Why does he live there?
He's from Ware, Mississippi, which is like 15 minutes from Starkville.
Where?
That's a good bit there.
Yeah.
Where?
No, it's Ware, Mississippi. Yeah.
Clip it.
How do you spell that?
It's, don't ask me to spell. Just don't ask me to spell.
Oh God!
It's
one syllable.
Like where
birthday.
All right, here I'm gonna get on the Google box here and look up Ware, Mississippi, and you guys hang a banner.
Is that in the shape of a triangle?
You know what my favorite Mississippi town name is?
Great
Hunter?
callback, Zach. Great call.
Thank you.
Yes,
Hunter. Do you know what my favorite Mississippi town name is? It's hot coffee. Love me some hot coffee, Mississippi.
I'm telling you, we could do a whole podcast on Mississippi city names. Be a good one.
You're dang right we could.
Like is it made up or is it real? That would be,
where is it?
We could do the exact same thing for West Virginia too.
Not.
Are we hanging banners? Oh, Hunter hung up.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. I can do it. It kind of has a little trivia question built in if
we
you're
love
interested.
Those.
Yeah.
Except
Mine will not.
Yeah, Landon literally turned his head. Landon turned his head like Rusty does when he's confused.
All the rest of us smiled and Landon walked away. I don't know.
Trivia. I hope this podcast doesn't get deleted.
All right, see y'all.
Podcast is gone because I'm going to ask a
Cameron,
question.
you said the T word.
Oh, that was so good.
All right.
So I'm hanging a banner for parody, but it only exists in the NFC. It does not exist in the AFC. In the AFC since 2001. No, sorry, since 2000. Since we turned to the 21st century, there have only been 8 different quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Cam, were you alive in 2000?
1, can you name the 8 quarterbacks
from the AFC?
Let Landon go first.
No,
Landon, give me one, and I hope you can at least give me 2.
All right, so I'll take a stab at it. Patrick Mahomes.
We'll just go one at a time here.
Oh yeah, O.J. Simpson.
Not a Jew.
Take a stab at it. Sorry. Go ahead, Hunter.
Back podcast episodes, he does it. You have to sneak that in every episode.
Okay, Brady and Mahomes are the obvious ones.
Yes. Peyton is another obvious one. Yes. There's kind of a fourth big name.
Okay,
there.
Joe Burrow.
Oh,
Burrow.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Joe
Roethlisberger's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Flacco's 5. No, wait, he's not 5. That might be 6. Did you?
6.
You said Mahomes,
Brady,
Manning, Brady, Ben, Flacco, Burrow. 6. So you're missing 2, and they're the 2 earliest ones.
Of course they are.
2000 and 2002.
Oh, Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer for the Ravens
Fresno
in
State.
2000.
Let's go.
And 2002. Does anybody have it?
Oh no, Rich Gannon.
Rich Gannon.
Oh,
Ew.
He won the MVP that year.
Delaware legend, right?
Oh, no.
No.
Landon.
Rich Gannon did not go to Delaware.
Where did Rich Gannon
Are you
go?
sure?
That's a
I
great
don't
question.
know, but I don't
I'm-
think it was Delaware. No, I'm not sure.
Delaware was Joe
No, I'm
Flacco.
pretty sure.
But the last time
No.
we did a podcast, you
on,
told us
hold
Dr.
on,
Seuss
hold
was
on,
from
hold on.
Mississippi too. So
Rich Gannon went to the University of Delaware.
wow, tip of the hat, Hunter. Your
Suck it,
IQ
Hunter.
points have gone
Says
all the way
Hunter.
up to 4.
Oh,
Suck it, Jordan.
Oh.
Okay, so
I'll be not
there
doing
are
that.
8 in 24
That
That's
is
kind of insane.
seasons. In the NFC in 24 seasons, give me a number. What do you think?
16.
Wait, did Nick Foles and Carson Wentz both count?
No,
Oh, okay.
just Nick Foles.
I would say 20.
I'm going to say like 19, 20, yeah.
Right at 20. 20 in 24 years and
Wow.
8
That's wild.
in 24 years. We don't need to name all 20.
We will
That
be
might
here.
take a while.
But we could. Mark Bulger? No, actually, no, that was
No,
Kurt Warner.
No, Warner was there twice.
Jake
or 3
DeLome
times.
would like
Yeah.
a word.
No, actually twice because the first one was 99, so that doesn't count. Yeah,
I'm going to hang the
Go ahead,
banner.
Jordan.
twice. But anyway, that's my hang the banner is for parity in the NFC.
I like how
We
half
just
his
don't
bag
get it.
hang the
We don't
banners
get
it.
come
I'm
with
gonna
a
hang a
trivia question.
banner.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a bonus there, Zach. We love that.
Hated that.
Hated that, he says.
I am going to hang a banner, and I'm going to jump off here real fast. But my hang the banner is for Pat Mahomes having the only three-peat in the family with his 3 DUIs. That's Pat Mahomes Sr.,
Wow.
not the active
Not
quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes the second.
Wow.
Correct.
That's gonna put us on the map right there, boys.
All right, now I'm gonna turn you guys off for a little while.
No.
No,
Do it quickly. Do it quickly.
you don't.
You have 25 seconds.
No,
You
Cameron,
have
go.
25 seconds. He has 2 of them.
Okay, so I was
Or
going
you
to do the
turn 'em around.
Saquon Barkley one, but Hunter took that, so I guess hang the banner Kanye West. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Hang the banner. The U.S. Soccer U17 team. Did anyone see this?
No.
The U.S. Soccer
Men's or women?
men's
Okay.
men's the
Boys.
U7 yeah, the U17 team for U.S. Soccer. They're in the CONCACAF stage right now, trying to qualify for the U17 World Cup. And they played their first game yesterday against the U.S. Virgin Islands, who somehow gets a team, even though they're technically part of the U.S. Does anyone want to guess what the final score was?
19
soccer
to
game.
nothing.
No. Maybe. 8-1.
No way the Virgin Islands scored.
Landon?
I saw it. I can't guess. Go ahead. Cam.
No
Okay.
score.
It
Scoreless.
was
0-0.
22 to 0.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
god.
And
That is
yeah.
as many points as the
It's
Chiefs scored.
exactly the yeah.
Yep.
Oh my
They had a kid on the team. His name's Chase Adams. Chase Adams scored 10 goals. Yeah. Just absolute craziness. I saw someone on Twitter said, well, those kids aren't virgins anymore.
Yeah. Hang a banner that guy.
So yeah, the U17 team doing great things. Sucks that we had to beat up on our own Virgin Islands to do it, but so next we got St. Kitts and Nevis.
What?
Kind of unfair that we have to play Kitts and Nevis.
That's such a Herod joke. Where's he at?
He deleted himself off the podcast after his Mahomes joke.
And since Landon isn't hanging a banner, I'll hang another one. Moon Pie, the Moon Pie Twitter account, just tweeted this 3 hours ago. To whom it may concern, thanks to recent and this is going to get a little political here. Thanks to recent geographical updates, we are excited to announce that the landmass previously known as Florida will now be referred to as Moon Pie Town. But Florida is a state, you say? No, Florida was a state. Now it's Moon Pie Town. We can just do this now. Please continue to enjoy our delicious marshmallow sandwiches and don't think too much about it.
Because Trump is naming oceans, renaming a gulf of different bodies of water. That's hilarious, though. That's so cool. That's genius.
I didn't know Moon Pie had a Twitter account, but here we are. Oh, Landon, did you
change your mind?
No, I always had one. I just told Cam.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry if I took your Moon Pie thing.
No, you didn't. It's okay. It's okay. No, I'm hanging a banner for the Arizona basketball game ops crew. Because
it's always a game ops crew.
It's always a game ops. I love picking on game ops because it's so easy, especially whenever it comes to ACU. But this one's going to Arizona. The other Wildcats, ironically enough.
The other. Yeah, they're the other.
They're the other for sure. Texas Tech played them on Saturday night, and I text y'all this. As they were about to do tip-off, the fire alarm goes off. And I was trying to find out why, so I'm going to make up something why. I'm going to say that it was the pregame pyrotechnics, because that makes a better story.
That does make a better story.
So that's what we're going to go with. But they couldn't figure it out for like 3 minutes. And they're just showing on ESPN the cop talking on his radio, trying to figure out what's happening if they actually need to evacuate. It was hilarious.
And full disclosure, to the average fan, you're like, oh, 3 minutes isn't that long.
Oh my
when
gosh.
you're in it, 3 minutes feels like 3 hours.
As a bonus, hang the banner, I'd like to go back to Hunter's final basketball game, where we had a 10-minute delay because he set the clock wrong.
No, that wasn't my final game. No, we had multiple delays. Only two. Only two major delays.
We had multiple delays.
We had multiple delays.
That wasn't the only delay.
Multiple delays.
One was my fault directly. The other one was not my fault directly, but I took all the blame for it. I'm gonna save those stories for our March Madness coverage and our college basketball coverage because they deserve their own good chunk of time. But Jordan has dipped. This has been a great recap of the Super Bowl and our prop discussions. But we are Press Box After Dark. If you're listening this far and you haven't followed us on anything, please do so. Please consider it. We'd really appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at PressBoxAD. You can catch up anything that we're doing on there. In our Twitter bio, you can find PressBoxAfterDark.com, where you have all of our blogs there. We have an MLB blog, college football blog, NFL blog. I know Zach's going to be doing a lot of NFL draft stuff coming up in the offseason, so definitely check that out. We also blog about reality TV game shows. We got Deal or No Deal Island and Survivor 48 starts at the end of February. So if you're excited about that stuff, you can check us out there too, PressBoxAfterDark.com. All of our podcasts are on Spotify and on Apple Music at Pressbox After Dark. Follow us on Spotify. We've actually gained a few followers since the start of February. So people, please keep doing that. We really do appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. And subscribe to us on YouTube. Our journey to 100 subscribers is going at a snail's pace. So hit that subscribe button for us. Help us out. Come on. I don't want to feel super negative in December. So subscribe to us on YouTube at Pressbox After Dark. We're also on TikTok at PressBoxAD, just like our Twitter handle as well. If you want to see clips of the show before you watch a full episode, we really appreciate you guys listening. We have been trying to do some different stuff. We have interviews going up with women who work in sports that are friends of the pod. I have one coming up next week. As you're listening, we also have one on the podcast feed from the day before with Elisa Blair and Cassie Kelly, our basketball correspondent. Elisa Blair, associate head coach at Texas Tech volleyball. Me and Cameron were on that one. If you're a volleyball fan in general, give that a listen. It was a really good time, really fun getting to catch up with them. So check us out, PressBoxAfterDark.com. We're trying to do some fun stuff. I really enjoy this, guys. I always wanted to get into radio, and this is my one chance every week I get to just pretend like I know what I'm talking about and talking to a microphone. So I get to appreciate it.
I do have to give a shout out to my Hawkeye Cooper DeJean though for scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I don't think there's probably been very many Hawkeyes in general to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl on offense, let alone on defense. So
the most
yeah,
Iowa thing of all time, a defensive touchdown by a white guy. Perfect way to just wrap up this.
No.
Did Kittle get one a couple years ago?
I assume he has one in his.
If it's not a tight end, it's a white defensive guy. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Yeah. Maybe I'll hang a banner with that at some point, and I'll do some research and actually look it up.
Well, it is pretty surprising. We were talking about this, that Alabama and Texas just had their first person score in the Super Bowl.
That is wild. That is absolutely wild, especially with all the amount of players that both those schools produce and put into the league. You think one person would find their way,
but then you think about it, and you're like, well, I guess. I mean, they primarily put a bunch of defensive guys, offensive line guys, quarterbacks.
Like, it's crazy for the Bama one, and Texas too. Like a QB sneak. Like, how has that not happened? You know, like that's just kind of wild.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't count.
Oh, it didn't count quarterbacks,
right?
Well, it does. Right? It does count quarterbacks if it's rushing, but
because Jalen Hurts counts for Oklahoma,
will count for Oklahoma,
right? But the
Devontae Smith touchdown.
That's the one that counted for Alabama. Anyway,
that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah. So, but crazy. All right, guys. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Suck it, Hunter.
No, I was waiting for it.
It's time for the drive of the game.
Which, quite frankly, might be my drive home from Starkville to Tupelo. Jack Crystal, an absolute legend. I loved him as a child, as the voice of the Bulldogs. That's the whole reason I wanted to get into radio. One of the best, one of the absolute best. Just if you ever have a chance, go listen to his stuff. Unbelievable.
I'm waiting for Hunter to do his own solo show at some point. I feel like he's ready to just talk nothing. It's going to be like an NPR style.
Usually, I think that might either get
no sound effects, no anything. He just comes on and he just starts.
He's gonna be like Sean Hannity, just talking to himself.
It's just me ranting about Mississippi State sports for about 40 minutes, and then at the end I talk about Power Rangers for like 15 minutes, and that's it. So, all right, guys.
Oh, by the way, those Power Rangers are up in the house. And
where did you get the train Megazord from Lightspeed Rescue?
Christmas as a kid.
Those are original?
These are all from early 2000s.
Man,
goodness gracious. Landon, we got to stop recording.
Leave it in.
It's time for the Sonic drive of the game. And perhaps as far as I'm concerned, the drive of the game may be our drive home from Starkville to Tupelo.
You can't fire me! I got a contract! I'm ready!